For the group, our volumes were 2% down overall, but of course that's a mixed bag. In South Africa, volumes in the cement business were down more strongly, but we grew volumes in other areas like Zimbabwe and Botswana. So you really have to understand that PPC is becoming much more of a diversified group, and the volumes are very different in the different areas. Obviously, South Africa still dominates in terms of our volumes, and we've now started our operation in Rwanda. So you're going to see, for instance, Rwanda building up to 600,000 tons per annum. So that's going to be bigger. Zimbabwe and Botswana outside of South Africa are also big volume players. With government really in South Africa, our relationship is good. We keep them fully abreast with whatever we're doing in South Africa. And then in terms of the different governments where we operate, the DRC, Ethiopia, Rwanda, etc., we make sure that our relationships are very good. And very often, like in Rwanda, we even have government representatives on our board. So it's a key area of our business. It certainly makes life more difficult, but we're part of an energy demand program, and we separate our operations from an energy perspective into the core operating units, being the kilns, and we make sure that the energy supply being erratic doesn't affect the kiln operations, because that's where it would really start to hurt our business. And we do this by ensuring that we turn off all of our other energy units during the high demand times. So as a quid pro quo, we've managed to keep our core operations going through the power shedding times. So far the impact hasn't been massive, but of course it's an inconvenience and does add to our cost base. We intend to become a major player in Africa over the next 35 years. It's a stated strategy of ours. And certainly that will mean that we have to do further projects in Africa. However, at the moment, we're focusing on the projects we do have, and we have nothing imminent in the pipeline where we're about to start a new big project. We're really focusing on what we have and delivering on those business plans. I think the Readymix area is quite an important part of the business. More and more as construction companies work in congested urban areas, the ability to get cement to them via the Readymix channel will be more and more important. So I think that's a channel that will be growing. We've implemented a profit improvement program, and in terms of that, it's not just about cutting our costs, it's about improving our profits. So we're looking at it on a revenue line as well. But in terms of the costs, firstly, we're looking at cost reductions at head office and at our operations, taking costs out which aren't necessary. And then we're looking at innovation and inefficiencies to bring costs through, just doing things smarter than we did before. As a group, I think our capacity at the moment, although it's never a fixed and firm number because of extension and various other factors, but we're at around about 8 million tons of productive capacity or efficient capacity at the moment. And we've announced obviously the new projects in the DRC, in Ethiopia, and Rwanda, and Zimbabwe coming through, which will increase that. And of course in South Africa, we're adding another 1 million tons by 2018 in terms of the Slurry SK9 project. The African continent doesn't have a lot of new competition. Our biggest competitor in Africa is probably Dangote, and then obviously some of the majors are trading cement into Africa. But really, I think the continent's growth is going to be big enough that we're going to have to see new producers coming into Africa. So we're going to be part of that mix. We're going to be competing with players coming in, and I think that's healthy.